Some go-to tactics that are all about persistence and understanding prospect needs, turning no's into opportunities. I'm going to kind of keep this high level, so feel free to pause the video if you want to look over any of these slides. But understanding the why behind no is a paradigm shift for most sellers. There's this reluctancy to ask additional questions because you're going to feel rude or like you're going to take up the person's time. If you can get over that hurdle, you're going to make so much more money in this industry. And you're going to help, more importantly, you're going to help more people than what you could have ever helped. And that is also a huge satisfaction, at least for me in sales. So asking those open-ended questions is a huge deal, but asking the questions that go below the surface level to the point of how does this affect the business and how does this affect you personally? So this costs the business overtime. That overtime costs me time with my family and I'm missing my son's soccer games. That allows you to connect personally with prospects and builds this trust of understanding what their actual problems are and how you can solve them individually. Now, a huge tip here is silence. When you ask a question, do not feel the need to fill dead air. You will, but when that moment comes up, bite your tongue, count 30 seconds, and I promise they're going to give you an answer within 10 seconds. What's going on is they're really taking in the question that you just asked them, and the gears are spinning in their head and formulating the sentence to answer your question to the best of their ability. And if you interrupt that, well, you just squandered everything. So silence is key. Tailor the solution based off of the under the surface level, going all the way to how your solution solves X, Y, and Z, not only for the business, but because it does this for the business, it's also going to affect you on that personal level that we talked about. You'll now be able to spend more time with your family and go to your son's soccer game, but you're also going to be saving a ton of money for the business in overtime, as an example. You can also tell relatable stories that tie into this, whether it be a case study with a leading customer in that industry, like, for example, a Mayo Clinic for hospitals or something like that. Or if I actually think it's a little bit better if you sold personally to somebody down the road from them, whether it be 5 miles or just around the block, they probably know somebody there and may reach out to them for a referral to get some more information to see how their experience is going. And you can kind of like piggyback off that as well. Persistence without pressure. Do not say just following up. Just checking in. Those basically make the prospect feel like they're a number that you're just trying to get them through the sales motion. And there's no point in doing that because they would follow up with you if they have relevant information that's going to proceed this deal forward. That's the way they perceive that. Now, in reality, what ends up happening is different priorities build up and you may fall off the table and onto the floor somewhere else and be forgotten about. So you do have to, be persistent without applying that pressure. And ways that you can do that is by offering additional value. Be a service whenever you follow back up by offering relevant case studies, anything that would be helpful to them that they can solve on their own without tech, or what other people that you've sold to within their area, how they're now changing their business, insights, articles. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do. Even just something as simple as saying Merry Christmas without any objective to it at all. They already know you, they know what you can do, and they know how you can solve their pain. All you have to do is just let them know that you're still there, however you want to do that. Here's one that I'm really passionate about, and that is timing. Sometimes you get a no because this is just not a priority for them right now, and they're not willing to bump you up over something else that is high priority. Now, if you just let that go, you probably missed out on a lot of different opportunities that could come to you at a later date. And here's why. By just sending them an email every once in a while, you stay top of mind. So when that priority now goes from down here back up to here, they will remember you specifically and not forget like, okay, well, now I've got to research companies and everything else like that. No, I have somebody in the industry who understands my problem and can solve it, and they've been relevant to me this entire time. Here's an example of when I worked in a healthcare company that was very similar to Uber, but it was for, healthcare staffing. This prospect basically, signed an agreement with us, but they never used the product. And the goal that I had was to get them to use the product, even after closing. So what I did here is I just had a little bit of fun. And as you can assume, there's going to be call-offs for Halloween weekend. So I sent an email out to her entire crew just to wish them a happy and safe Halloween and let them know like they can rest in peace, knowing that we have their back this weekend. It wasn't that for 3 months they had signed up. They never used us. A couple of days after this email, they started using us. So if you made it this far to the video, let me know what's your number one rule for staying persistent without being pushy. And let's see who's got the best tip. Leave it in the comments below.